BJ Nix, are you here?
Present.
Spoonie, Timothy Spoonie.
Present, sir.
Margaret and Mary. Do we have a Margaret and Mary?
Yes. Cool. And the margaritas.
All right. Class here. We're ready. Let's go.
Yes, let's go.
Okay.
This is the time to line up behind your team, to support your team. Have faith in that team.
You know, it's peaks and valleys. You know, it can't always be good. And as I always tell people, you're never as good as you think you are, and you're never as bad as you think you are. But when we do know about
house call, Trevon Diggs, pick six. Coming, they see it, knocked away. Oh, Gregory! Hurts in trouble. 3 Cowboys wrap him up, make it 4. Micah Parsons is unblockable.
What is going on, Cowboys Nation? What is going on, Pick Six fam? We are back in the building for the Freestyle Friday show. As y'all know, we always do about this time. My guy O's in the building. Y'all know I'm in the building. Shout out to Arnold real quick. Got to stop real quick. Boom. New listener in the building. New sub in the building. Out of the chat real quick. A lot of fire for our guy Victor. What's going on, Vic? How you doing? Welcome to the channel. Stick around. And on the backside, we have a very special guest. Very special. If y'all don't follow her on Twitter yet, or Instagram, or wherever you can, Taylor Mathis is in the building. If you're betting, you're losing if you're not listening to Taylor. I'm putting you on the. I saw Taylor because wait, stop. But I see the work you put in and everything else. FTN Network is in the building. Taylor, how are we doing this Friday?
I am doing wonderful. I'm excited to have our boys back in action on Sunday. Coming off of a bye, I was deprived last weekend.
Man, we all were. And then of course, oh boy, the Odell talk through the. Oh my goodness, oh my God, so many different things to talk about when it comes to Odell now.
Yeah, it's crazy because every time I'm on Twitter, I see a quote. I'm like, oh cool, Zeke said something, and when I'm sharing with somebody else, Dak said something, and then Michael Gallup said something, and then CeeDee Lamb said something, and then Stephen Jones is like, I guess I'll take my turn. It's my turn now to talk about it. So it's like there's just so much coming at you that it's hard to even keep up. My favorite tweet of the day. Did you guys see Michael Gelkin's tweet about the Cowboys?
Oh, yes.
Hilarious.
The reference.
Hilarious. Yes. I'm going to read it for those that haven't seen it because it's a gem. Absolute gem. All right, so Michael Gelkin, definitely follow him if you're not already. But he put on Twitter today, Cowboys, Odell Beckham Jr. would be an excellent fit in Dallas. He's a special playmaker who would elevate our entire roster. We'd welcome him in our locker room and believe he'd bring us closer to a Super Bowl. Ref, I just asked if it was heads or tails. That's how it is. Like we are talking about him when it's not even necessary. We're just bringing him up because there's so much excitement. So great tweet.
Taylor, are you buying the heads or tails? Or you just buying it in general?
I think that's hysterical. I'm like maybe on the opposing side of most people, but I'm not a huge Odell Beckham Jr. fan. Oh. So for the sake of him improving the offense and improving our receiver core, sure. Mm-hmm. But like I've never been a big fan of him. I feel like he's overrated, but I thought that since he was a Giant, I feel like he had the one good catch, and then everybody was like, "Oh,
and we beat them. Oh, and the Cowboys beat them in that game, and we beat them that game.
Yes, and they're like, "Odell's a top 5 receiver," and everybody just talks about that and goes off that one catch. Is now he's like the best thing ever, and I've never been a huge fan of him. I also kind of love that lately we haven't dealt with a lot of drama per se as Dallas Cowboy fans within our team. And that's usually something that Dallas always deals with. And I feel like he'd be a guy that's going to bring drama. Do I want him? Do I think he could elevate us in the playoffs? Yes. I hope he comes to Dallas for a fan perspective. Do I like him really that much? No. So I'm iffy on Odell Beckham Jr.
That's very fair. My thing outside of that is simply this. I always talk about here on this channel within the content that we do, adequate NFL depth. And I think currently for the Cowboys, I don't think they have adequate NFL depth at the wide receiver position.
Yeah.
And Odell brings that. No, I'm with you. Here's where I'm at with you, Taylor. No, I don't think he's going to be the overarching, oh my God, he shows up and he's doing 140 yards and 2 touchdowns a game. What I think he does is I'll go outside and see them get busy in the slot. And that's what I want.
Right. Very true.
CeeDee Lamb, look, bring him here and let CeeDee Lamb win. That's where I'm at.
I agree with you. You know, Michael Gallup hasn't looked as good coming back from injury as I really expected him to either. So we could use something there.
You know, and Taylor, here's the crazy thing about it. Like, and I think in Cowboys Nation, here's what happened. Like, he came back his very first week, touchdown catch. He's flashing. We're like, he's back. And then all of a sudden, actually, not quite yet. Little things to work through. I liked what we did prior to the bye week. You know, 2 downs, but a little bit up again. But I think the problem was that very first game, man, he flashed and did everything. And we're like, he's back. It's MG13. And then he's not quite back yet. And that's, to your point, kind of the certain thing here with Odell, with all the hype about Odell. He had the same injury. Now, maybe the Super Bowl MVP, we don't know.
Right.
Same injury. So even early November, he's not going to play till December, right?
Exactly. So we have a while anyway. It does seem like the entire Cowboys roster, though, wants him to come play down there. And I read an Instagram post or something that, like, Micah Parsons and him are really good friends. I didn't know that. So he's, like, all about wanting him to come down here either. But he also said he's not going to push him and be, like, too extra in trying to drag him to Dallas.
That part. You know, and of course, Dak and him have some history as well. But, I mean, look in ATL, Professor, in your town, Zeke's dad and Odell's dad was on a local news channel today, and then we had Zeke says, "I ain't saying nothing though." Look, it's a fun time during the bye. Look, bye weeks happening. The Cowboys are 6-2. We're getting people back. Sam Williams coming back to the fold. You know, we got some guys Zeke maybe back on the act. Fun times. Don't lose track of the Packers, but look, fun times during the bye week.
Definitely agree. I think that this week is one of the first times, too, I'm not super scared for the Cowboys to face the Packers.
Ooh, there's some conversation there. Real quick, I want to tap in on this, and I want to say, as my girl Aisha's in the building as well, I definitely have the 22 Salute the Troops hat on. It is Veterans Day, and, of course, I couldn't get to the bank and get change on the back end, but outside of that, man, salute to all of the veterans that go out here and make the ultimate sacrifice for us, whether they're away from family, the ultimate sacrifice, we're going to talk about that. But in general, thank you all so much. And we always trying to make sure that we tip the cap, give the knowledge, give the salute, if you will. Thank y'all so much, man, for everybody that has went out there and went through and served this country. Man, for us that didn't, man, we appreciate y'all. Ultimately here on Veterans Day, the Freestyle Friday Veterans Day edition, if you will. I should have put that in the tag. I missed the opportunity there. I know.
So Taylor, I don't know if you saw it, but Aisha, she's on Girls Talk, Boys Talk on the mothership. And she
The
said, "It's
mothership.
nice to see another lady doing the damn thing."
Yes.
And then me and Nick's over here just get a
I
little
agree.
peace sign. You get all the love. We just get a little peace sign. No,
Yeah,
Aisha's
hey,
our
you
friend.
know.
She talks to us all the time. Shout out to Aisha. Thank you again. Happy Veterans Day to you as well.
Big facts. Everybody in the building. It's Freestyle Friday. So you know what we do. We already got the link in YouTube. It's already pinned to the top. If you're not on YouTube, come over to YouTube. You see that. You can click in. You come in. You can chime in with us. I will definitely take care of you on that end. With that being said, for everybody that's coming through, we're going to rock with Taylor for a few minutes because she has to get out of here. She's giving us 30. And first and foremost, thank you for the 30 minutes. Appreciate you.
Of course.
Appreciate you.
If I can talk Cowboys for a while, strictly Cowboys without having to look at some of these like snoozer games that I had to give picks on today. Saints, Steelers. I'm like, do I really care about this game? No. Do I have to talk about it for work? Yes. So, hey, if I can talk like the Cowboys for a while, I'm all in.
Taylor, let me ask you a question. Can I ask you a question? Is that okay?
Yes.
Can I ask you a question? I'm on team, and I've been on this for a few years now. I'm team abolish Thursday Night Football. I'm just, get it out of here.
Oh my, I think I'm right there with you. I was so bored. At halftime, I was like, is this really our score? I mean, not that I'm that shocked. It was the Panthers and the Falcons, but it's like, who is picking these teams for primetime?
Good luck.
It's like an every year thing, too. Like 90% of the Thursday night games are trash, like every single
They're
year.
just so boring. But you know
It's
what?
so
We all
bad.
still watch them. That's what's so
We do.
pathetic and ridiculous. I'm like, that. We all still watch them. We all need to like boycott it, stop watching Thursday night football so they just get rid of it altogether.
Oh,
Well, they
raise
know
my
what they're
hand.
doing, though, because they
I
added
didn't
all
watch
these
it.
extra streams and extra casts that you can
Yep.
watch. You can see different people talk about it or the next
Yep.
gen stats
Oh.
version. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm hooked.
I'm saying, oh, and how much
I don't
did
even care about
Amazon
the
just
game.
pay for Thursday night this year? How much did Amazon pay for Thursday night? Was that $3 billion or so? It was
A lot of
something weird.
money.
It was
A lot of
wild.
money.
And it's
I
been
will
so
say,
bad.
too, I love the talent lineup that they have. I think they're really
The hosts?
entertaining. Yes, like
yes. Oh,
they're so entertaining.
Yes.
They're great. And I'm just
Yes.
like, they get the most boring games to have to talk about. I'm like, could we step it up,
Although-
fix it? Like,
Some of the scheduling's hard, though. Like, if you look preseason, you get Russell Wilson with the Denver Broncos. The
Well, you're
AFC West
thinking
is supposed to
that's
be
gonna be a
high
good
flying and
matchup.
it's supposed to be high flying and explosive.
right.
And then you get like 3 consecutive Denver Bronco primetime games to start the year, and they were all duds. And they can't
Horrible.
flex them out of it, so you're just kind of stuck with
hey,
it.
look. If we're doing
But I get why they
Survivor-
would schedule it.
If we're doing
Right.
Survivor real quick though, and look, I'm with you, Taylor. I love actually the panel they have.
I
Tony
do
Gonzalez
too.
can get look, Tony Gonzalez can get off the he can be off the island. Tony Gonzalez can go. I'm sorry.
Aaron
I'm
Rodgers,
sorry.
He's done.
I'm
He's
sorry,
done.
Tony Gonzalez.
I'm not gonna lie. What did I say the other day? I was like watching, and I was like, I mean, he's pretty nice to look at, honestly. That was,
Well, fair. No,
I don't
I
mind
get it.
that
I get
end
it.
of it. He can stay on for that. I gotta say, Fitzpatrick is hysterical. Like he's my
He is.
favorite part of
Oh,
the
he's
entire
great.
thing. Yeah,
And
he's
look,
so good.
and I love the fact from Sherman. He doesn't
Yes.
care. He's going to just cut you. It is what it
Yes.
is.
He's
I
very
just
blunt, honest.
Yes.
He's a good, and I love Carissa Thompson too. I've loved her forever.
Facts,
So
facts.
being a girl in sports, like she's somebody who I've always looked at as, oh my gosh, she's like the
Long
mecca
train.
where you want to get to.
And the thing about Krista is wherever she's been, man, she has just literally right to the top. I'm with you with
Yep.
Krista. She is always wherever you put. It's the old saying, send me to the wolves, I'll come back leading the pack. That's Krista, in my opinion.
Yes.
She always does that, no matter where she's at. I'm right.
Yeah, I'm like they're all
But-
great, but the
Damn it, Tony.
team's not so great.
I need you to get a little bit better, but neither here nor there. That's my point. That's my point.
Yeah, but then I'm like,
Outside
we
of
have
that-
the Sunday night. Is it Monday night football? I mean, normally I think people would be pretty excited for an
Mm-hmm.
NFC East matchup between the Commanders and the Eagles, but I'm like, really? Like the Commanders are easily the worst team in our division, and I think
True.
that the Eagles on primetime have had really easy teams so far. Their schedule's not that hard. So I'm like, are the Eagles probably going to win and stay undefeated? Most likely, yes,
Yeah.
which is annoying.
And look,
That's how it
no.
is.
Oh, and this is what we talked about. The crazy thing about us, we did the midseason show during the bye week. All right, Taylor, we did the midseason.
Mhm.
And look, for me personally, last year I had the Cowboys 10-7. After preseason, I said, actually, I think they'll win 11. They went 12-5. This year, I was like, well, for different reasons, more offensively than defensively, I think we're 10-7. And then after we're 10-7. But now here we are 6-2. We did our show.
I'm not mad about 6-2 after what happened with Dak at all. I was expecting us to lose. Nobody
thought that Cooper Rush was going to do what he did.
And even though they did lose against the Eagles, I mean, they came back in the second half and at least kept it competitive. I think that watching the Eagles-Cowboys later on in the season, if everybody stays healthy on both sides, is going to be a very fun matchup. And I think we have a chance to win. So, and if we do, I think people need to start looking at the Cowboys as more serious Super Bowl contenders as well.
And it's Christmas Eve too, like getting to. I don't want them to be undefeated still, but either way, when that game comes around, whether they only have one loss or two losses or whatever it may be, getting to ruin their Christmas just seems so interesting to me. Like I can't wait for that.
One of my shows with FTN, our lead host, and then there's two of us that are betting analysts. The other betting analyst and our host, they're both huge Eagle fans, and I'm the Cowboys fan. So I have to deal with that every single week. So I'm like, guys, if we come back and we win that next game later in the season, I am going to be rubbing it in their face.
Taylor, whenever we need somebody to get your bag, just inbox me. I got you.
Yes.
But the crazy thing about it is, the Cowboys, we kind of talked about 13 wins, maybe 14 wins. Who knows?
We'll see.
You look at the Eagles' schedule, that might not be enough to win the division. That's crazy.
I know. It's crazy.
So
and
crazy.
If the Giants keep pulling out these weird wins like they are too, who knows?
I mean, you could realistically have 3 teams in the NFC East with 12 wins or more, which is crazy because if you look at the Giants' schedule and pick losses, there's not a lot out there that you're like, okay, even if you split with these two teams, still only ending with 4 losses there, or 5 losses at the most. And then you look at the Cowboys schedule and it's the same story. You're like, okay, cool. After our 3-game stretch we have now, we get the Houston Texans, the Indianapolis Colts, with Jeff Saturday as head coach, and all the stuff that's going on with that organization. So it's
the 30-year-old guy that's going to now call plays, and
community college guy. I'm like, what is happening?
See, I didn't know they were just hiring like that. I would have applied. I would say,
I know. I'm like, I don't even think you had to apply. Jeff Saturday's on ESPN. All of a sudden, now he's head coach in the NFL.
The crazy thing to me, look, and I know. I mean, look, pause. I'm gonna go. Is real quick. Reggie Wayne's on that coaching staff, right?
I think so.
He is. And I'm like, word? You have more, NFL coaching status than Saturday?
Oh, they have 2 former head coaches on their staff. And they hired Jeff Saturday.
Reggie
Wayne's a current coach and a former player, so he makes sense if you're going that route. But they have 2 former head coaches on the staff too, and they're like, Jeff, what you got?
Look, layup drill for the Cowboys.
Down,
how about that? Layup drill for the Cowboys. With that being said, we do.
Dude, they're not planning on making him interim head coach. It sounds like that he could be the permanent head coach, is what it possibly sounds like. I'm sure they'll wait and see how the season goes, but it sounds like that's a possibility.
Yeah.
Fun times in Indy. With that being said, everybody in the building, real quick, make sure you share it out, build it up here. We got 2 people on the back channel. I see y'all. Space, I see you. Now he went from Cooper Rush's doppelganger to Des caught it. I mean, it is what it is. We're definitely going to get you up here and let you get some questions into Taylor. But again, I got to be respectful to the time. We're 19 minutes in. She has 30. So real quick, let's pivot over here and let's just get it out of the gate. We talked about Odell a little bit. That's fine. That's fine. We did that. Packers are on deck here, Taylor. Packers 3-6. I think for me, very history kind of repeats itself because our coach was their coach and he got fired at 4-7-1. And the Cowboys have an opportunity to go up there and make them 3-7. Look, I don't think their casket is closed quite yet with 7 teams making the playoffs. But boy, if you win the game, the casket's closed.
Oh, so I think their casket's just a crack. Aaron Rodgers' finger is just lightly sticking out of there right now.
Yes,
it's about to get slammed down on, I think, this weekend.
What's crazy too is you look at the injury report, which we'll talk about, but 16 players were DNPs or limited, and you're thinking well, surely most of those are limited. No, it was 10 DNPs and 6 limited. And then since then, we added another guy, Eric Stokes. Shout out to the Georgia Bulldogs. Go Dogs. Out for the season to go with Rashawn Gary. And they have Romeo Dobbs
always
out
a dog in
for 6
here.
weeks. They always got to go for that. But you look at the schedule, and they haven't had a bye week yet. So I'm looking at the Cowboys matchup with them, and I'm thinking, okay, well, surely they're going to have a bye week coming up soon so they can rest up. No, they have a late bye week. After the Cowboys, I don't know the combination, the exact order, but they play the Eagles, the Tennessee Titans, and the Chicago Bears. So they have 3 teams, including the Cowboys in that mix, and maybe even the Bears with the way Justin Fields is playing.
I was going to say,
but they're going to get banged up. They're playing 3 good defenses. They're playing 3 more good defenses with a roster that's already hanging by a thread. Like, they may not make it to the bye week health-wise.
I mean, I agree with you. The Bears are top 3 in pass defense right now. Yeah. Granted, Aaron Rodgers and the Packers beat them earlier this year, but that was like, and now you look at that, and that was almost like a weird fluke, I feel like, with how the season is shaped out so far. And the Bears, I just think they are like moving up. Justin Fields continually looks better. Do I think that the Bears are going to the playoffs or anything crazy like that this year? No, but I do think they're moving in a positive direction. I'm from Chicago too, so the Bears are like my second team behind the Cowboys.
Well, and look, and the Fields they'll play coming up is going to be a much different Fields because this coaching staff and whatever is shout out to Mooney, shout out to them adding and going ahead and spending the second round pick on Claypool. They're built differently. And they're finding things out. So, yeah, this is a much different Bears team moving forward.
I agree.
And you're starting to see some rapport building between Justin Fields and Cole Kmet, too. So that's another angle. When you're adding in Chase Claypool to the mix, they already have a few receivers. Obviously, they're not like a top-tier passing attack by any means, but they have 2 good running backs, a quarterback that can run for 180 yards on you, pop a 60-yard touchdown run, and they added more to the receiver room. So they're a team that, record-wise, they're not going to be super impressive, but they're going to be in most games, and that they're not an easy out.
Mm-hmm.
But on the backside, I don't care about none of that. I'll be honest with y'all. I don't care. Look, man, 26 years, her dog. Talking about the Cowboys. 26 years. That's what we get told, Taylor. Oh, hey, we ain't been to an NFC Championship game in 26 years. That's what we get told all the time, right?
Yeah.
Fair. That's fair. That's fair. If you go through the 26 years, if you look at the root of the top 5 losses, I kind of feel like Aaron Rodgers is at the epicenter of like 3 of those.
If I give you guys my picks that I have for this game, that is like a big factor that I looked at because Aaron Rodgers seems to be our kryptonite a lot of the time.
Completely agree because even going back to our talk last season, for me, I wanted Green Bay over San Francisco because I thought like this weird of we need to get over the Aaron Rodgers Green Bay hump. Like the Packers in the 90s. They couldn't get over the Cowboys with Brett Favre. It was kind of the same thing. Well, San Francisco, when I was in the building. Whatever. But
it's actually kind of our fault because last year we were like, we want all the smoke this time. Give us the 49ers, then give us the Packers, then give us the Bucks. Yeah, we're going to slay all the Dragons. And now I'm like, I don't care who it is. Just give me the easiest route. I want to win this.
Right? Somewhere.
I don't care who we beat.
But low
now
key,
I'm like, give me Taylor Heineke. Give me Kirk Cousins. I just want to get to the Super Bowl and win. That's all that matters.
But low key, though, with all these things being said, right? With all these things, and look, going back to Dak's rookie year, right? So Dak and Zeke's rookie year, they went up there. I was there in the building, and they went to Lambeau, and boom, easy money, 13-3, first round bye. Things went left. We lost, and I can go through the Dez caught it, and I can go through. Oh. What's the backup? What's the backup? We was up hella high. Matt, he made all the money. Seattle signed him
Matt Flynn.
For Matt Flynn. Right? And then we was up, and then Cole Beasley didn't run the route. They got the pick. They beat us. Like it just seems over 26 years, the most heartbreaking different things the Cowboys nation. Tasa. The Packers, and most importantly, Aaron Rodgers. Aaron, I don't care. I don't care that you're 39. I don't care that all of a sudden, apparently now, we never heard this before. anybody. I left. I don't even know what's happening. Okay, I'm back. I don't even care. 3-6. I want you to be 3-7. I want to close that casket door and let's move on. Do it for Mike McCarthy. Do it for whatever. Do it for Odell at this point. I don't care. We've been hurt by Aaron Rodgers a ton. I want it back. That's what I want. I'm sorry.
So, Taylor, with you being in that area, well, I know you don't live there now, but you mentioned, Chicago and some of that love that you have there. You probably have a different level of hate than what we even have as, Cowboys fans. We hate.
Oh, exactly.
So tell us how you feel about this team.
That I would definitely agree with you. I think being from the Chicago area, a majority of my family is actually Bears fans, but my dad's from Iowa, grew up a Cowboys fan, and he raised me a Cowboys fan.
Is he a family? What's his college team, real quick?
What's my dad's college team? University of Iowa. I went to Iowa as well.
We're
big Hawkeyes. Hawkeye, Big Ten people out here.
That's Anthony.
Aisha Morrison's a Hawkeyes fan too.
Yes,
actually.
let's go. Fact. All right, I'm sorry.
Love it. Yeah, so I grew up, a Cowboys fan. My dad converted my mom as well. So my mom's a Cowboys fan now over being a Bears fan. But we have a deep hate in Chicago for the Packers and for Aaron Rodgers because I look at the rest of my family and they've had to suffer through a lot of losses because of the Packers being Bears fans. And then same thing happens with us. Aaron Rodgers is 7-2 straight up against the Cowboys. Regardless of how old he is, he seems to always figure out a way to get it done against us.
That's why Sunday matters. And look, I'll be honest with y'all. Personally, I'm going to take I do content from a brain standpoint, in the front office standpoint, and that's why I try to deliver my content. Right now, I'm gonna take the other way. I'm gonna be very vulnerable here, Pick Six fam, Cowboys Nation. I'm gonna be very vulnerable. I'm scary. I'm be honest with y'all. I'm scary. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all because the Cowboys ultimately, on a bad day, right here, we look on paper, should win this game, 27-17? Like 10 points is a bad game for the Cowboys to win this. I don't think it's that close on paper. I'm scary because the one thing that scares me, Taylor, all-time players. And look, no matter what we think about Aaron Rodgers in general, he's an all-time player.
Yes.
He just went to Detroit, lost, didn't score 10 points.
So it's like, what's he gonna do this weekend?
Through 3 interceptions, he doesn't want to do that again. I'm worried a little bit.
I'm not at all. I'm not at all.
Okay,
they're even down another receiver. Like Romeo Doubs has been one of his best receivers now. He's down another weapon, and their offensive line's taking a beating like this. The defense is going to eat this week, and I'm excited about that because it's Aaron Rodgers, and I've been waiting to see this happen to him. And it's just time. It's time. Well, so Taylor, let me ask you this because we're running out of time with you. So I want to ask you real quick. Your thoughts on the game. So we know how you feel about Aaron Rodgers. We know you're a Cowboys fan. How optimistic do you feel about this? I know that you mentioned there's that, that thing pulling at you saying they still got Aaron Rodgers, still a little bit of that. How confident are you going into this weekend, especially with what you do, where you do prop bets and stats and analytics and all that?
So I'll give you guys some of my plays right now. I focus on prop betting, so I more look at players as opposed to like sides or totals on the game.
Right.
But I essentially, with the props that I have, I am fading the Packers. We already just talked about it, but the Packers scored just 9 points against the Lions defense. That is horrible. And now they have the Dallas seed that leads the league in sack percentage. Rodgers, I feel like, is going to be in trouble. He threw 3 interceptions last week. And with that kind of pressure that he's going to be facing against the Cowboys, I would be willing to take Rodgers to throw an interception this week as a prop. He doesn't do it very often, but I do think it could happen. As I continue to fade the Packers, I'm going to go over on Dallas running back Tony Pollard's rushing total and for him to score an anytime touchdown. Pollard 2 weeks ago ran for 131 yards, 3 TDs. Pollard has a total of 5 touchdowns on the year. That ties for 10th in the NFL. And Green Bay's run D sits bottom 10, allowing 139 yards a game. And it sounds like Ezekiel Elliott may not play, but even if he does, Elliott, in my opinion, should not be getting that starting role as a back. Pollard is younger. He's quicker. He's just the more explosive back. And Elliott's great for those powerful, short yardage plays. but Pollard just finds those openings better. He creates bigger gains. So I'm going to go over on Pollard's rushing total. The books have not given out that number yet because, of course, they're waiting to see if Zeke's going to play or not. But I still like his over regardless, even if Zeke plays, and I like Pollard to score an anytime TD. And also, if you want to get fancy and take a more value pick, take Aaron Rodgers to throw an interception this week as well. So I'm full fading the Packers.
All right. So build me. I don't know. Can you build me the 4 prop bet on this game? Give me the 4 prop bet for this game. What do you have, Taylor?
So I'm going Pollard over rushing, Tony Pollard anytime TD, Aaron Rodgers to throw an interception. Ooh, and then, I mean, I want to say Cowboys to cover at -5.5. But I'm I personally, being honest, working in the betting world, I never bet the Cowboys on a side or money line because I am too scared as a fan. And it just it interferes with me as a fan enjoying the game. So I will take prop bets on specific players to do well, but I can't get myself to actually straight up just bet Cowboys to cover at -5.5. If I were going to build a parlay, that's what I would do.
How about Gallup touchdown? Can we saw that in there? Gallup 1 touchdown?
Don't hate it.
Okay.
I like it. I'm much more of running back heavy when I go anytime touchdowns.
Okay.
Just because, especially when I look at where the Cowboys have been offensive wise right now, they obviously are relying really heavily on Tony Pollard. He just had 3 TDs in 1 game.
Sure.
Oh, and then if Zeke's going to be playing, the other reason I look at a running back for an anytime TD more is just I'm expecting if they get in that red zone and Zeke does play, he's going to be in a position to score a touchdown a couple yards out. So that's just my take. I'm a little bit more iffy on a receiver touchdown just because I'm not really sure yet. We haven't seen a whole lot of Dak since he's been back from injury yet either. Right. So I would lean more on a running back for an anytime TD, but if you like Gallup, go for it. It probably has better value for sure.
I will say this. Which is crazy because I'm with you because I don't like the coverage. The Cowboys last year were dumb with it. They covered 11 straight games last year. Mm-hmm. But I'm with you. I don't like the coverage plus minus. I'm absolutely there with you.
Yeah, I'm not a good.
I'm scary. I'm scary.
Yes, I do. I'm like that too. I do bet sides because especially during the NFL, I definitely have to with the amount of shows I do and stuff. I'm I can't just. Right now, too, for some reason, because there's so many questions at quarterback this week for a bunch of different teams, there's not a lot of prop plays that have even been released yet. So I'm trying to you try to look at sides. If anybody wants a random play, I like Rams -3. I like that a lot this week.
There was another game you like. There's another game you like. You didn't mention it.
So you think Stafford plays?
I don't know. And I mean, even if Stafford doesn't play, though, it's questionable that Kyler Murray's going to play too. But I just like the spot that the Rams are in after barely losing to the Bucs, and they've lost 4 of their last 5. Sean McVay always figures out how to beat the Cardinals. I also live here in Arizona, and I listen to Arizona sports talk radio all the time while I drive. And all these beat reporters here that cover the Cardinals are still we're not counting them out yet. I'm they are god awful. The Cardinals are horrible this year.
You're not buying the wait, hold on. You're not buying
the not in the red sea.
You're not buying the Buda Baker,
No,
you're not buying that.
I'm not buying any of it. I don't understand the Kyler Murray extension. I don't understand the Cliff Kingsbury extension. They're all just high off the fact that they went 7-0 to start the season last year. We're done with last year. They ended the season terribly. They got blown out by the Rams in the playoffs. So do we think that that's going to – the Rams just have their number. Trust me, I think Rams -3. I like the Seahawks as outright dogs to win this week and the Steelers as well.
Who's your lock? What's your lock, Taylor? What's your lock for this week?
All right, my lock.
I'll put you on the spot.
I'm gonna go Nick Chubb over his rushing total at 79.5. The man has literally not rushed for less than 87 yards, only one time against the Patriots.
Let's go.
And it's crazy to me. The books have Derrick Henry at 106.5 for his total rushing this week, and they have Nick Chubb at 78.5. They give that man no respect. And it upsets me, but if you always take Nick Chubb on his over this season, you've literally cashed every single game except for one. So he is That is a solid bet. Just ride that trend. Ride the wave on Nick Chubb.
Take Victor Garcia's endorsement right here. Victor Garcia said, shout out to Taylor on Fred VanVleet, under 22.5 points.
Yes.
Hashtag straight
Let's
cash.
go.
So we got an endorsement right there in the chat.
Hey,
So,
and that's why in my ESPN league, I'm currently undefeated because Nick Chubb is my starting guy.
he's my starting guy too.
Yes,
and I'm also undefeated.
Let's go. I'm undefeated with Nick Chubb. I'm a believer in Nick Chubb.
I love it. Me too.
So Taylor, real quick, we got a question from the chat. I know we're running out of time.
Sure.
I promise you we'll get it.
Taylor, we got you in overtime. I'm sorry, Taylor. I'm sorry.
Joey Villa.
Ooh, I need. Ooh.
They're 31st in DVOA and special teams. I'm just saying.
I do. Ooh.
No.
I don't know.
I got you, Taylor. No, not happening. I got you, Taylor.
Worth a sprinkle. I sometimes for those plays that are far fetched, you put $1 on it and it's like plus 2,000. You're making some money off of $1. It might be worth it to put like $1 on it. Why not?
So guys, when Nick's asked her, give me some prop bets, and she just started going, that's why this is what I do with stats. That's why when I as soon as I saw you on Twitter, I was like, gotta get her on the show.
Got it on.
Have to.
Real quick, I know we're in overtime. I'm sorry. You're on the West Coast. Hold on. Real quick. Gallup or Ferguson for a touchdown, in your opinion?
I go Gallup. I'll go Gallup.
Okay.
I'm going to go Gallup.
All right. Fair.
Do we know, is Noah Brown back this week? I saw maybe yes, no.
I mean, yeah, it's indifferent. I think the Cowboys are going to be much more 12 or 13 personnel than 11 for what it's worth, but we'll see.
We'll see.
Keep in mind, too, with Dak at quarterback, we target the tight ends significantly more than what we did when Cooper Rush was in. So Dalton Schultz, the 3 games he's played with Dak, he saw a target share of 21.9%, 20%, and 26.9%. And when Dak is under center, pay attention to this one, Dalton Schultz is targeted 30.6% of the times when Dak is under center.
Yeah.
When Cooper Rush played, it was 13.9%. So Dak does target the tight ends, which is why you're seeing Peyton Hendershot, Jake Ferguson, and Schultz start to become more alive, and that's why that 12 and 13 is becoming a little bit more sexy.
With that being said, because our girl Taylor's got to get up out of here, let me pivot to the guys that are coming up right now. First and foremost, quick question for her. She don't keep her long, and I'm sorry. I appreciate you coming on overtime here right now, Taylor. Appreciate you. Dez, Cooper Rush. What do I call you at this point, sir?
Right now, just call me Dez Caught It, because we need to body bag the Packers. I can't stand this team. And that's my wife's team, who's from Iowa, too. Go figure.
Pause. Look, quick question. If you have a question for Taylor before she gets out of here, by all means, go get the space of this question.
My question for you right now is, what coach needs this win more right now, you think? Mike McCarthy or Matt LaFleur?
That's a really good question.
That's a really good question.
I don't think it is.
I don't think that Mike McCarthy's our answer. So I want to say Mike McCarthy. I think Mike McCarthy's pretty average as a head coach. And I think it's kind of a revenge. He gets fired from his team. He's coming back to Lambeau for the first time. I'm going Mike McCarthy.
Taylor, I don't have you for a long time. However, we just became spirit animals to talk for a long time. Neither here nor there. When Mike McCarthy got fired, the Packers were 4-7-1, correct?
Right.
The Packers are currently 3-6. They win their 3-7, and we heard Aaron Rodgers say we need to simplify the offense. They pivoted that question to Matt LaFleur. He's like, I don't know what that means. Sounds very similar to Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy when he was there to now. I think this is an Aaron Rodgers problem more than the coach. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna be honest.
13,
you
home
really
field
think
advantage,
Mike
another
McCarthy's leading us to a
13.
Super Bowl? I just don't. And I'm
when
not
Aaron
a
Rodgers
big fan
win the
of
Super Bowl,
Moore. Get rid of our OC. I'm over him too.
Hold on, wait.
Space like that one. Space like that answer.
Pause. Taylor, me and you. I've already apologized. Me and you, we need. Look, I love this conversation. We have to look. We can't do this on air, but boy, I want to have this conversation. I want to have a conversation with you because I like all this. Yeah, neither here nor there. Now, I'm not telling you where I'm going to land on. Kill it. Good conversation. Space. Question for Taylor.
Yeah. So, here's the thing. I've touched up on this on Twitter and on my channel. The Packers are 0-2 when they give up 4 or more sacks. Do you believe the Packers' offensive line will give up more than 4 sacks this game?
Sounds like a prop bet.
I think yes, because I just said, what did I just say? Dallas has the highest sack percentage in the league. And I think there's a chance that Aaron Rodgers turns over the ball. Like, we rarely see him throw picks. He threw 3 last week. Probably going into this, most people are thinking, oh, he's going to come off of a game. He threw 3 picks. He's not going to throw one this week. I don't know. QB pressure. He gets nervous. He does not have weapons to throw to this year. So I think it could happen. I think so. I like it. I think the Cowboys win outright for sure. I just get nervous on the cover.
All right. Well, question for Taylor, if you have one before we leave.
I'm good. I want to be respectful for time. We appreciate you rocking the extra with us. Taylor,
Thank
you've
you
been
guys
fantastic.
so much.
Please let them know where they can follow you because obviously her Twitter handle's there, but she's everywhere. She's on TikTok.
Yes,
Taylor, by all means, solo layout for Taylor.
You can follow me all my social media, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter is Team Ass Sports. I work for Superbook Sports. That's the sports book I work for, doing content and hosting video as well. FTN. I'm on Sports Grid once a week, as well as the Better Sports Network. I'm all over the place. So you can check out my stuff everywhere.
Guys, real quick, just so you guys, because I don't know if you follow her or not, but it was her birthday this week too.
Yeah, I was
so go ahead in the chat. Drop a happy birthday to her.
Thank you guys.
Belated birthday.
No age out there. And your Twitter has that. They're going to find that out. How was your birthday? Was that? It was
fantastic? Amazing. I went with 7 of my girlfriends to San Diego for the first time.
Oh,
It was my big 3-0. So.
Let's go. Hey, fire emojis up here. She exited the 20s. She's into the 30s. Look, and she's out here telling you how to go win some money. I hope
so. Here? I hope it. I hope we win some money this week. I'm excited for it.
Look. My guy, Rich King in the building said, TC said, I'm there, Taylor. He's already in. He's 10 toes. He's already in. But he's kind of wishy-washy. He's always in. It doesn't matter. Yeah. With that being said, first and foremost,
thank you very much.
So much. Man, we appreciate you as always. If you ever need anything from us on this side, let us know. We got you on the back.
Thank you, guys. Same to you. Good luck to our Cowboys.
Yes, let's go. And of course, that whole that panel with all the Eagles, man, inbox me. I'll pull up. I'm 6'3". I'm ready. I'll pull up. Don't worry about it.
I love it. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Absolutely. Thank you. Have a good night. And appreciate you for 42 minutes. We are for extra 12.
Tom,
with that being said,
what's up, guys?
With that being said,
Space, I got a question for you. How are you dealing with this Twitter stuff going on right now?
So I gotta give a shout out to Dylan because he really he was like, hey, well, I found this gift card. I think it had like $10 on it. I'm like, hey, I haven't used it. Might as well get Twitter Blue and just find, see how much we can go on. And people are like, oh, report this. Listen, he hasn't done it to other accounts yet. I'll probably change it back to parody, but you know what? Man, lame ass. Anyways, it's been fun over the.
I'll remove your shit. Don't do that. No, go ahead.
It's been fun over the last 24 hours. I think the recent tweet I had, I'm looking at it. I used the quote he used, we're rolling up our sleeves to see if there's an opportunity for us to put a star on Odell's helmet, and that has over 600 likes, and it's just been fun messing with people. I think that we're just trying to cause chaos on the timeline. Even before that, I mean, like, oh my God, like it's thank you, Elon Musk, but also not thank you because you're probably going to burn Twitter to the ground. Before
That's one of the power of Twitter, though. Like, Space came up with a very, very funny Twitter parody account. Way before, I don't want to say way before they were things. They've been around for a while, but way before the new verified parody thing came about. And he got more followers in like a week than I have. And I'm like, it's funny. It's funny how it works. But yeah, so Space, question for you, because we talked about OBJ. I know you probably covered it on your channel. I want to ask you a little bit about how you're feeling about it. And then I definitely want to ask Tom, because Tom is Toxic Tom Downey burner account for
No. He's
Des caught it burner account. But to say the least, kind of recapping, there's a lot of buzz out there, a lot of movement that seems like this is going to happen. But we've been here before, maybe not to the same extent in terms of what we're doing PR-wise of everybody talking about it. But we've had the guys like, well, Bobby Wagner played for him. I'm sure he's going to come here. Von Miller, liked the comment or whatever. He's going to come here, and it hasn't worked. Do you think that this is different? I know it feels different, but do you think that it is different this time? What do you think, Space?
It is when you watch the track record of how the Cowboys have done business. Because when you actually look at these other names, like a Von Miller or a Bobby Wagner, etc., usually they don't say a lot, and you maybe hear like one or two things. And also the key thing is, what does management say? Because we know management makes this thing go. So usually Steven will be like, well, at the end of the day, our cap situation, like he did in the offseason. This go around, he never mentioned the cap. He never mentioned anything but, hey, talent acquisitions 365, 24/7, whatever the hell. I think we want to try and get Odell with a star on his helmet, right? Now, of course, there's still in the back of our minds, hey, we've been snake bitten before. Are we going to get snake bitten again? Well, you have the team and the players going like, hey, we would love to have Odell from the quarterback, etc. That's the big thing, is the quarterback cosign. Yes, I understand he said it in the non-answer type of way, but he said something. Everyone else is, oh, we would love him. Your head coach goes out and says, yeah, I've been a fan of Odell. Your owner goes out. Your father goes out and says this. And now Steven's saying that. So I think that, and I'm of the firm belief that,
before you finish, go ahead. The Jerry comment. What was interesting about that is Jerry made the comment about asking Michael Irvin, Troy Aikman about Deion.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And he also made the comment before the trade deadline that we're probably not going to make a move unless there's a Deion. He's now compared, basically saying, I will make a trade if I can get a Deion. And now he's compared OBJ directly to a Deion type of player where he there's that buzz. They definitely feel different about this. So I just want to touch on that before you go.
No, you're right, because I was going to bring up the point. So thank you for that. And that's huge, is that yeah, I think that, but that's just my opinion. But I believe that this vibe is a lot different. Everybody's saying they're on board. I think it's a matter of, do you pull the trigger? And I think that they are talking to them. I think that a lot of us are like, well, why isn't it happening? Why isn't it happening? Like, we're all impatient. I think that, and we talked about it in the space with Knicks on Twitter, which you guys should go check those out if you don't. I think the biggest thing is that we're waiting to see the medical side of things. There's a side of either he's doing it to hype it up because he's been active on Twitter. And the other part is he fully medically cleared? And I'm going to be real with you. Like, even if he was added on the roster, I'm not comfortable playing the guy until he's fully healthy. But, what are the teams out there? Let's kind of just do this out of the, to kind of answer this. Realistically, you're looking at Dallas, of course. You had the Giants on there. You had, I believe it was the Bills and the 49, and the Packers, or the 4.
Those are the 4 he named, at least.
Yeah. Okay, the 4 he named, but there could be some dark horse names right here. But let's just use those 4 in this.
Ravens.
Raven, thank you. So he did say that, and we've heard he doesn't want to play in a cold market. He wants to play either in a dome or place that's warm. So literally any place in the Northeast at this time of year. And of course, Buffalo, Green Bay. So it really just opens up the opportunity for like West and Southern teams, which we happen to be one of them. So if we go off of that, now the other thing I would also keep in mind is the turf. Like, look at the places that have certain turfs, because that could also be playing a factor as well. But they'll finish this long diatribe. I do think that there could be something. I do think there is something in the works. I think it's just a matter of how long it's going to take.
Okay, we'll come back to that part too, because that's a very interesting part, is when this happens, whether it's Dallas or elsewhere. So Dez caught it burner account. How are you feeling about this?
Here we go again. That's how I feel about this whole thing. Adrian Peterson, Earl Thomas, Eric Berry, Bobby Wagner, Roquan. I'm so tired of hearing from Dallas and Cowboy fans. This time it's different. Show me. Like, and for a team that hasn't done crap in 27 years, you talk a lot.
26.
26? My bad. You talk a lot. And I the one thing I cannot stand about this front office is right after the trade deadline, I don't want to hear what you can't do and what you didn't do. That's just the makings of garbage leadership. Oh, we tried. Okay, well, you sound like my dad when he tried to visit me when I was a kid. Cool, but you didn't. That's like at the end of the day, but you didn't. It's just I really wish a lot more Cowboy fans would wake up, because part of me doesn't want this to happen, because I'm
woke though.
I want more Cowboy fans to see that this front office has been one of, if not the biggest obstacles to why we haven't been relevant in nearly 30 years. And also, why are we praising the guy that caused the problem for this to even need OBJ in the first place? Like, that's the whole reason why this is such a big deal. Is because
I don't know. You want to hear the Nick's response to that, but I got you.
I would love to hear it, but if you're asking me, I need to bank on Scrooge McDuck, who's probably guarding the salary cap vault right now 24/7 to make sure no one touches it. We're banking on him from a guy that's already said he wants to be paid. Yeah, it sounds cool, but I'm just not buying it. This front office.
So let me ask before Hoodie Knicks goes. What is you said you'll believe it when you see it.
Absolutely.
What is your percentage? If you had to put a percentage on it, how likely is this?
Oh gosh.
Chat, let me know what you guys think too.
Realistically, I would say like 30%. So
you're giving us a pretty decent chance then, considering there's 4 teams he named. You're giving us an above average chance based on that.
I would
even if
guess,
you beat out one of the teams because of weather.
It just really makes me worried hearing bidding war with this. When I hear bidding war, I think of Pawn Stars, and I think of him being like, "Whoa, I can't do that. $50 is the best I can do." That's all. That's just what I get.
Can I just interject a little something though?
Yeah, what's up, Bruce? First off, welcome, Bruce. Thanks for joining.
What's going on, man?
Secondly, Bruce, how's your Friday going?
Man, I mean, it's pretty good. I'm just excited and ready to smoke on this Packers pack. That Green Bay fine greenery.
Let's go greenery in the air. By all means, I'm gonna mute myself. Go right ahead, sir. I just want to make sure your Friday was fantastic first.
Appreciate you. Nah, but you know what though? Like the number one reason this whole situation feels different outside of everybody cheerleading for it in the media. Think about it this way. Have you heard Stephen Jones talk about the pie or cap yet? Like normally if he was going to pour some water on it, he wouldn't hesitate to dump a whole Dasani all across any kind of fire before there's even really too much smoke. But we hadn't heard that this time. And I just feel like that even if I put the percentages probably like at a 55 to 60, that's more than like any kind of hype or buzz Cowboys have had around a free agent and I don't know how long. Like I want to sip the Kool-Aid just a little bit, not a big gulp, but just a little bit.
So I can tell Hoodie Knicks has some thoughts that he wants to share with us, and I'm ready to hear this because he's literally turned away from the camera. I feel like he's going heel right now. I don't know what's about to happen. I'm ready for like some dark themes, music, and some smoke to pop up. Some strobe lights. Go ahead, Knicks. How you feeling about it?
Needs more dry ice and cowbell.
Even Terry. Even shout out to Terry. Even Terry has the eyes on what's happening right now.
Yeah. I'm just gonna be honest with our guy over here, Cooper Rush, Dez, whatever, all his different conundrums that he has when he shows up here. I don't fucking care. How about that? I don't care. How about that? I don't care. Because you can go through the diatribes of different things. You can do whatever. And this, that, the third didn't happen. Here's your problem that you failed to concur throughout these guys that want to say this, that, and the third about the Cowboys. You have not seen Look, chat, let me know. Anybody on the panel, let me know. You ain't see the full court press from the Cowboys. Not once. I got a better one for you. Hold on, let me get my hoodie right. Y'all heard Stephen Jones today? Or not?
Yep, rolling up the sleeves.
Y'all heard him? Y'all heard him, right? Look, did he do it on 105 through the fan, or did he do it on XM nationwide? Which one? Y'all know what he's doing?
It was XM.
Y'all heard him?
It was that Sirius XM?
Oh. Funny how that works, because that's going to get the take. Now, look, if I was a 105 through the fan, I'd be a little bit upset about it, to be honest with you. If I worked there, we had plenty of people over here. Shout out to our guys that come over here and rock with us. I'd be upset that he didn't come over here and say that. I'd be very mad about that. But there's a reason that he chose to do it that way. It matters differently. It hits differently. No different than, as I said, through all the spaces on Twitter, if you follow your guy Nix, and we've done this on the channel too, whenever Mike McCarthy took the Rich Eisen show nationwide, not 105 to defend, he did nationwide, and took those questions and talked about what mattered here. When everybody wanted Sean Payton, Jerry Jones was pissed off, and all these things were happening. He went nationwide. And go back to yesterday, I put the tweet out. I said it. I was like, hey, man, y'all all these people are like, oh, I need to hear from Dak. Dak. No, I don't need to hear from Dak. I don't care. Dak don't need to see the shit on no damn stage. We move differently. Quarterbacks move differently. I don't need that. And low key, say what you want to, Cowboys Nation. There's only one guy within the building that needs to say it. Who's the guy? Is it Dak? Is it Zeke? Is it Parsons?
It's Steven.
Who is it?
It's Steven.
Steven showed up. Fuck we talking about here? So it's real now. I don't know if it happens. But I've told y'all for 3 weeks now, if you're tuned in on Twitter, told y'all for 3 weeks now. Look, and obviously, if you follow me for a long time, I'm in the right area. Geography, lottery matters. I am in the right area. I'm not on the West Coast. I'm not. So I'm not there for training camps and fake ankle injuries or whatever the case may be with Amari Coopers or whatever. I'm not there. I'm not there for that. What I am here for and where I'm located at is I talk to people and know people within certain families. I've said this before, Cleveland. There's a particular place. It is what it is. Neither here nor there. I don't care. What I do know is, for the first time since 2013, Stephen Jones, 10 years gap. You can't find me a clip in damn near 10 years today that he said about anybody, period. Yes, did he pull the Amari Cooper trade off? Sure. Say less. Outside of that, nothing happened. You heard him today. I don't give a shit. I don't care. It's there. And what we look at and what we've talked about extensively on this channel or other places. The NFC is wide open. I don't care about the AFC. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I don't care about the AFC. I don't care about what's going on in the AFC. I don't care. In the NFC, here we are. Here's what happens. Oh, the Cowboys play how many games in how many days?
We have 3 games in 12 days.
When can Odell play?
When can he play?
December.
I mean, you're probably like, if you're looking at the timetable, if they assign him pretty much immediately in the next week, you're really not having him play until December 4th, the Colts game at the soonest, because 3 games in 12 days, you're going to have very limited practice time. So obviously he can be there in meetings and things like that. But we know from Mike McCarthy's comments frequently, practice time matters to him and the staff. They want to see guys acclimated. They want to see them out there wearing pads, fully participating. So realistically, he's not playing anytime in the next 3 games. So you're looking at maybe December 4th. And if he signed after Thanksgiving, which is where I think you're going with this potentially, you're looking at him being ready for the last 4 games of the year.
Boom. And here's the thing about it. The Cowboys at 6-2, right? He can pick and choose. Okay. And he can be, look, Jay Glazer reported on Monday. We're on Friday. He'll be cleared medically. The one thing about that everybody doesn't understand is simply this. The doctor can't release that. Him and his team can. Have y'all heard anything about him releasing anything? Like, he had the appointment. He didn't say, I'm not approved. Nobody said he's not or are approved. Or there's just nothing. Because he's playing the game. And it's okay. If the Cowboys, look, for me, hoodie status. Cowboys should look and say, hey, Odell, here's a 3-year deal. I look, and shout out to Nosy, and I respect Nosy to the utmost. Said 2-year deal, whatever the case. No, you want to sign him? Give him a 3-year deal, and it's done. It's done. And instantly, if that's what you think that puts you over the hump in this NFC this year, who cares about the other years? Do it now. Give him a 3-year deal. Give him the what was the term we talk about? Oh, he needs a Michael Gallup deal. Michael Gallup is cheaper than the deal that Dalton Schultz should get. Cool. Say less. I love Schultz. I'm not saying the Cowboys should move away from him, but if I can get Odell versus Schultz, 3 years, here it is. Hey, appreciate you, Schultz. I got Hendershot. I got Ferguson. I can draft a guy in later rounds. I don't have to worry about wide receiver.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, say less. Say less. But you know, there, I don't have to worry about it. Man, look, I've been waiting for years. I'm in my 4th year of doing Cowboy content. And the one thing I've consistently said about the Cowboys I've waited for is them to push their chips to the middle of the table. They dipped their toe with Hankins. They dipped their toe. Oh, the run game's not good enough. They dipped their toe. Edges maybe more so than the middle, but they dipped their toe. Go get that guy and let's move. I'm just saying. I'll shut up.
All right, so I'm going to go back to our guy Des caught it burner account. Did Hoodie Knicks move you at all? If he didn't, that's totally fine. Stand your ground. But do you? Let me ask this too. Before we ask if Odell's coming here or not, do you think that there is?
No, I want to hear. I want to hear this answer first.
Am I moved? I'm an accountant. I'm a results-oriented kind of guy. Okay.
26 years.
And what do we have other than her dick in her hands? Nothing. Hey,
we haven't made a move though.
Well, I mean, we've made. There's been a philosophical shift.
I'm sorry. Hit with the moves there.
I mean, when you look at the 2007 team, they definitely made a ton of moves with early Jerry Jones, and then when Stephen Jones slowly started to take over.
You remember the Jerry in 07. What moves? What moves in 07 did we make?
What moves in when that 07 team was that Wade?
I like that.
Wade Phillip. I believe that was right after. Now this is a long time ago. They had DeMarcus Ware. They got Ken Hamlin in free agency.
Sure.
They brought in. They had Terrence Newman. They had Anthony Henry on the outside who they traded for.
No, you said they made moves. Who was the moves they made?
Wasn't it Leonard Davis at guard that they paid a ton of money for from the Arizona Cardinals? They got Mark Colombo from the Chicago Bears. Mm-hmm. They had Flozell Adams. Who was the guard? They had Andre Gerard was the center.
I mean, just tell me they made no moves.
Leonard Davis was a big move for the organization at the time. That was a pretty big move.
Davis was big enough.
I'm just saying they had a blend of they brought in free agents. They traded. And they did a blend of things, and they did their Cowboys special. They got bounced in the first round, and then what was their record though? I don't care. They lost the game that they mattered. The game that mattered, they lost. That's just me. I just make the dance and.
Let me. Do you mind if I say something real quick, guys?
Yeah.
Do you know what making moves does when you build a team? It increases your chances of getting to the tournament. The higher you have chances at getting to the tournament, you're able to most likely break through. And this is kind of why, I want to see this team make moves. And I agree with what Nick's is saying, 110%. I'm all in on that. Absolutely. Because we've already talked on that, right? But the thing is that Nick's, we've been talking for probably about a year or two, 3 years. And how many times has this Cowboys team have opportunities? So my thing is
0.
My main thing is that there is no, I want this to have no excuses, right? Steven has no excuses. He has gone on the record. He said, you go get guys like Von Miller, or you go get these guys when you're making a playoff push. Okay. Well, here's the thing. You have no excuses, number one. But number two, let's think about why this is different from that. He doesn't have to give up draft capital. He doesn't have to worry about anything super guaranteed. What's he got to lose? And on top of that, like Nick said, he never mentioned the cap one bit. Every time he's mentioned the cap, every time he...
Well, we paid the quarterback $40 million.
There you go.
So go around.
See, so every time that there has been speculation about a free agent, and this is even before this year, they have said, hey, listen. Or he said, hey, listen, at the end of the day, there's only so... He gives some excuse. I didn't hear an excuse yet. And the fact is that if you know me, I'm Mr. Pessimist. I always think they're not going to do shit.
As a younger fan, I agree, and you should be. I get it.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think there needs to be that learning moment. And even if I'm not asking Odell, that's the thing is you have these people oh, well, Odell hasn't done anything. Okay. Well, what are you asking him to do? You're asking him to come in here, be wide receiver 3. And he's better than what you got on this roster. Let's be honest here. Let's keep it funky. So, this is a move that's a vote of confidence for this team. And that has been the reason why we have not had any chances. This team has not given that team the vote of confidence. And no, Jonathan Hankins is not a vote of confidence. That's just you're doing your thing. You need that chess piece, how I would think that it's like getting a Von Miller or getting even a free agency like a Dalvin Tomlinson, something to be like, guys, we are going all in. We are making that move. And I think with what you're at right now, with the cap space that you have, with what has been said by everybody, that has been the biggest thing that's different from any other scenario. No one has said anything the otherwise. Nothing.
I want to give Cole's shout out to Cole's Cowboy. He's been rocking with us. Before we go too much further this conversation, Cole's, how do you feel about this? We got some predictions in the chat everywhere from 25% to 80%. We've heard kind of both sides of the house on why it should happen and why it won't happen. Where are you at in this conversation with Odell Beckham?
I believe he's gonna make the move. Point blank. Hey, I get Space Cowboy, man. I get Dez called a burner account. I get it, man. Because I had high doubts. The only thing I was saying was I need to hear what Stephen Jones would say. I believe that's what we were all waiting on. And the fact that I had to hear that audio 3 times because I thought I was tripping at first. The fact that he didn't even mention the cap and he said exactly what Jerry Jones said: put a star on Odell's helmet. I mean, I never heard it.
If you hear the whole thing, not just that end quote, I almost feel like he went further than Jerry Jones did with his comment, which I thought was interesting because Jerry made the comment of, we'd like when he has a star on his helmet or whatever. the whole conversation from Stephen Jones in that interview, I almost feel like he went more towards Odell Beckham than even Jerry did, which I thought was kind of interesting. But keep going. Just want to throw that in.
No. Just to pivot off what you just said, and I mentioned this in the here. I think they already have a number planned. I think they talked to Odell. I think they talked to him. You know what I'm saying? I think it's some type of conversation going on. I'm looking at the dudes, and he could be playing around with the with the fans on Twitter, but he's responding more and more to a lot of Cowboy players. And just earlier, just a random thing, Trayvon Diggs posted hungry, and he was like Uber Eats, and I'm like, I think they playing with us, but I think it's a connection there. I think they're actually chopping up a little bit. Players talk, man. If they want somebody, all the players in the locker room saying, we want Odell. These guys got each other's numbers. They don't together. They know what's going on. They talk like we talk. So something's churning up. And the fact that the front office is with the players, I believe they all been talking about this, and the same thing that went on. I hate bringing up 90 stuff. That's just my personal pet peeve because we ain't did nothing since then. But it's the same thing with the Deion situation. Jerry Jones was like, hey, he said it on 103 The Fan. I love it that everybody's on the same page because that's how they were when I brought it up. Deion. They probably was the same way with Odell Beckham. So I'm sold on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm prepared. If it is a letdown, I said it many times, we might need to go to the Star. I'll be like that guy with the podium, with the trophy. I get them trophies. We taking them home, man. But we might have to go out there and handle some business at the Star if it don't happen. But, say, hey, just out of fun, I believe it's going to happen. I don't think they're going to set this up just to be clowned on national television.
All right, Bruce, go ahead, Bruce.
I'm sorry, I kind of got zoned out a little bit.
We're talking Odell Beckham. How do you feel about it?
Or you don't?
Yeah, you think it's going to happen?
You said maybe 60%. I know that. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, like a 55 to 60, which, like I said, this is still higher than I would have been. Like typically the Cowboys and free agency ain't a sentence that I put together very often. So I'm all for it. I feel like people gonna talk about like this team is gonna get away from the run. I don't think it can afford to, even with Odell. Right. Like Mike McCarthy has kind of put boot to ass to Kellen Moore, and it just feels like the offense is just running differently through that.
Stop. Pause. I love what you just said because I've been campaigning for over a year and a half now. McCarthy's the guy. Let's be clear. I'm sorry. Look, I don't care. Like, we've watched him in 3 years, two and some change years, 2.5, do things that we didn't see from a head coach. Like, I don't care. Like, bro, I don't understand Cowboys Nation with the issue of Mike McCarthy. I really don't. I personally, don't.
It's so weird. Like,
it doesn't make any
sense. We
sense.
actually getting some of the things we've been asking for with the coach, like even getting a deep nose tackle in the first place, or focusing on all of these needs. This ain't something we've done. And secrecy, especially.
Well, safety, right? It kind of started with safety. The two positions we've been begging for years is we need a one tech, and they were like, "Cool, we got one. Let's go get another one." We're like, "We need safeties. We're playing Jeff Heath, the GOAT. Shout out to Jeff Heath, Darian Thompson, guys like that." Now we're like literally 5 safeties deep that all of us are like, obviously I want Jaron Kearse out there. I want Dono out there. I want Malik Hooker. But if they're not able to play, they're hurt, like we saw with Malik Hooker, we're like, I feel pretty good about Izzy. And we all like Marquise Bell, and we haven't really needed him. He did get to play a little bit against the Bears, but 2 of the positions we've been begging for, we actually have and are in pretty good shape there, which is it's nice, to your point.
And you want to know something? Oh, go ahead.
P.O. You gotta let me go. As long as I'm in hoodie mode, I gotta shoot at Des Carter. You gotta let me shoot at him. I got to. I gotta shoot at Des. I gotta shoot at him. Because I don't like, I'll be honest with y'all. Real quick. Everybody in the chat and everything else. I'll be honest with you. I don't like it. I don't like what he talked about. I'll be honest with you. I don't like it. Can I shoot at him or no?
I mean, you can. Yeah, of course. Of course. I just want to make sure, we don't get lost in the sauce too much with this conversation, right? Because there's a lot of stuff that can happen still. We in both sides agree on that part. Like both sides want this to happen. He put in the chat like X-Files. He wants to believe. So it's.
No, I got that. No, I'm good there.
Go ahead, though.
I'm good there.
No,
I got it. I saw that.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm just like, for obviously, Cooper, Rush, Dez, or where we are tonight. Ultimately, sir, you've waited for a moment for the Cowboys in an opportune space to do something. Is that fair to say or no?
1,000%.
Okay. So why is the hesitation from you with Odell? Is there a different move here that you would like to see?
My hesitation is that I'm putting my faith in somebody and a group of people who have done so many missteps. I'm putting my faith in a snake oil salesman. I can't. It's like trusting the used car salesman. Oh yeah, now this lemon's gonna work. I want to believe.
Pause. Like, look, I don't care about the salesman. I don't care about that. We're talking about right now how the Cowboys are constituted. I don't care about shit else. Me personally. How do the Cowboys, at this current standpoint, come out of the bye week, going to Green Bay, 3 o'clock, 4 Eastern people? Shouts to Eastern. Shouts to Eastern time. 4. How are the Cowboys getting better? Like, who's available? The trade deadline is gone. There's free agents. I mean, Odell doesn't help us here.
1,000% helps us. I would love Odell, love him. Okay. And I think a competent general manager like the Rams last year went out and grabbed him with no questions asked. It's not a matter of I don't want OBJ, not the problem. I just don't think the people we have in place are.
You don't think it's going to happen?
I can't buy that Jerry and Stephen Jones are finally going to do something right. I just can't.
It's the Gregory comment. It is the Gregory comment. Lucy's pulled the ball out from Charlie Brown.
It's just.
Many times. I understand. I hear what he's saying. Think about it this way: if somebody lies to you enough times,
he hurt me
right now.
Someone lies to you enough times,
he did,
and then tells you like, "Hey, things are different," and they start acting and showing like, I'm a new man. I'm not going to do that. I got your back. I'm on your side. They tell you all the things and you want to believe it, but in the back of your head, you're like,
that's where I'm at.
That's where he's at.
Scorn
lover thing. Not scorn lover.
I would love Odell Beckham Jr. in this locker room. Love it.
Look at me, Dez, because I can call you Cooper Rush nowhere, apparently. Look at me. It's going to happen. Say less. It's going to happen.
He's not going to be sold until he see the report.
It's not my fault. It's not my fault.
Hey, look. And honestly, to be carte blanche here. Yeah, man. I mean, we don't know. I mean, we're having a good time with it. Here's what I do know: the Cowboys, ultimately, from players to upper management, and look, everybody agrees. Stephen Jones on Sirius XM today, all of us were like, oh shit. We were all like, oh, Stephen Jones went there? And we're like, oh, so it should happen. But here's the thing about it. Ultimately, and I want to set parameters, if that makes sense. Signing Odell doesn't mean that we get to where we need to go ultimately. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. It helps you, yes, but it doesn't mean that you're going to get there, because ultimately this league and what's going on is very much so week to week, is very much so, especially more this year than maybe the last 2 years. It's insane. The Cowboys, literally, we talked about it earlier. The Cowboys could easily be 13-4 and has to go on the road. Man, those are just the facts. They are. The Cowboys might be 14-3. and have to go on the road. It just is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, what you have to do as the organization, period, is figure what matters, where your points are, and then drive the hammer down for me is NFL adequate depth. The Cowboys currently, if you lose a CeeDee Lamb, how's this wide receiver room look? If you lose Lamb, how's the wide receiver room look for the Cowboys?
I've seen college probably rosters that have better depth than they do at that point. I mean, Michael Gallup, who's clearly not 100%. James Washington with the club.
I just said Lamb.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get to
You
Gallup.
gotta hope Noah Brown turn into Chris Carter or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, hold on, Bruce. There's somebody that said that he was Chris Carter. I ain't here to say that.
I know, I saw it. That's not where I'm.
But there's a
Noah
content creator that said that he's
Noah
Chris
Carter.
Brown. But neither here nor there. But on the backside of that, even right, Lamb can be healthy. If you lose Gallup, now what? Like, there's not a third answer here, and for me, that's really the issue. Is there's not a third answer? Look, look for me personally. Let me set the table. Hold on, wait. I'm still in hoodie Knicks mode. Wait, stop. Hold on. Let me put the hoodie off real quick. Here's the thing when I talk about when it comes to Odell Beckham. Look, I don't expect Odell to come in here and be the Rams. Look, and that's last year. Rams guy who could have been the Super Bowl MVP guy. I don't expect that. I ain't talking about anybody else. The John. I'm just talking about the Rams where he was. What I'm simply saying is you need adequate NFL depth. And if you pick it, who's the next guy? Tolbert? Fioku? Noah Brown? Who's the next guy? And those are the things to me that matter in the opportunity where you're pushing the envelope forward and trying to go do things. It is where I Odell is a top, but I don't think Odell's a top 10 receiver. I don't think anybody else top 15. Yeah, is Odell a top 15 receiver for y'all right now?
No.
Anybody top 15? Anybody?
No.
Bruce,
No.
Cole, Space. Is he a top 15 right now?
Not right now.
Probably not.
No.
Fair, but is he a top 25 though?
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is he top 25? Oh, is he a top 20?
He's on that fringe for me. There's a lot of
Top
good receivers.
25?
Like, there's a lot of good receivers out there.
Okay.
He would definitely help our team.
Right.
I obviously want him. Just saying. So either way,
Sure.
even if he's
No,
top
no,
27,
hell,
30,
everybody's
whatever,
got
he would still
three.
help us.
Top 30. Top 30 is even better. How about the top 30 is a
I'll give him
better,
that. Yes.
better constitute, if you will. But if you lose the top two guys you have on your team, and he's top 30, you feel carte blanche of okay. Like, I'll name the guys outside of Lamb, outside of Gallup. Is he better than Noah Brown?
Yes.
Noah Carter? No.
Never say depends if he turn into Noah Carter, man.
Tragic. Is he better than?
Yes, no. Out the gate, he hit the ground running and just does Noah Brown and 10 every day of the week.
Right. I mean, is he better than? Who's that? Who I put him next? I put Noah Brown.
Tolbert.
James Washington.
Assuming
Yes.
he comes back. Yeah.
Right, okay. Simi Fioku.
Yes.
Yes.
Jalen Tolbert.
Who?
Yeah, Dennis Houston. I mean, I'm not like space. We're not very deep at wide receiver.
We are not. No. No.
We was trying to make high hope for those guys too.
But remember what we talked about, Nix, is that if you are like, because we mentioned the 3-year deal, right? Think about it. If
Pause.
Go ahead.
Pause. Let's put it out there. Hold on, because you brought that up. That's a great point. So I will put this out here from our space, and shout out to my guy Space, who was a co-host there. I threw it out there because it was a lot different signing or whatever. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm walking away with a 3-year. I'm gonna ask everybody on the panel, everybody in the chat. Y'all can do it. Y'all can answer yes or no. 3-year, fully guaranteed, which would mean the rest, whatever games this year, in 2 years after this. I'm giving Odell Beckham Jr. Me personally, I'm giving Odell Beckham Jr. a 3-year, fully guaranteed contract this year, next year, and the year after. Are you in or out? I'm gonna go left to right on my screen. Professor O, 3 years, fully guaranteed.
I am out on that. The 3-year deal, I'm cool with. I just wouldn't fully guarantee it for a receiver who has 2 ACL tears. I think he's going to come back and be just fine, but you don't fully guarantee contracts in the NFL very often, if ever. So no, I wouldn't do that.
Okay, Dez, 3 years, fully guaranteed, which will be less than Dalton Schultz.
Not the fully guaranteed. Again, I agree with Professor O. It's the fully guaranteed part that's got that hang up. I definitely could see them doing a funny year at the end or a void year on the end of that 3-year deal. But 3 years is fine with me.
All right. Well, at that point, it'd be like a 4-year deal and whatever. But I'm saying 3 years full. I got you. I'm with it. Bruce, 3 years, fully guaranteed.
I would do it. It's the guaranteed money that's the hang up. But you already know Stephen Jones, like he already gonna have all kinds of incentives and trap doors and escapability and whatnot, hardwired right in there.
I don't care about Stephen. No, I'm not asking Stephen. I'm asking you. 3 years, fully guaranteed. I don't care. It might be a 5-year deal with all those trap doors and everything you're talking about. I'm not tripping, but I'm saying for the next 3 years, will you fully guarantee him some money?
I can't fully front load the whole 3.
Okay. All right. Coles, 3 years, fully guaranteed.
I ain't doing a fully guaranteed for 3 years. Not with his injuries. No.
10-4. 10-4. All right. Space. 3 years, fully guaranteed. 30 million, 35 million. I don't care.
We'll say 34.5 since he wants the Gallup structure. That's 11.5 here.
Boom.
So
there you go.
If they structure the deal like I know the Cowboys can structure it.
No. 3 years fully guaranteed. I ain't seen it. I ain't seen
3 year 34.
Yes.
Doing it. Yes. Okay.
Yes. I'm doing it.
All right. Now watch. Pause. I'm gonna pivot the question differently. Does left to right again for everybody's answer? Is the difference getting to the Super Bowl? I ain't saying you're going to win the Super Bowl. I'm not saying you're going to win the Super Bowl. Odell on this team this year gets you to the Super Bowl, yes or no? Professor O?
I mean, it's hard to say without seeing what he looks like coming back from the injury.
I don't care.
He definitely would help our chances. But if I have to say yes, he wins it, he gets us to the Super Bowl, yes or no, I would say no. I think he could definitely help us, but I'd say no.
No. Okay. Dez? Cooper Rush? No. Okay.
I do not.
Bruce?
Nah. I mean, I can say it helped the chances, but that's going around the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say
that's
no.
how I am, so I was like, I have to answer. So if I can't definitively say yes,
it's fine. It's okay. Coles?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Because in my opinion, we don't need Odell Beckham to beat the Eagles. And I believe the Eagles will be in our way to make the Super Bowl.
Okay. Space. Will I get you the Super Bowl this year or no?
Yes.
If the answer is yes, then I don't give a shit how much it costs. Mm-hmm. But I do understand. I definitely do understand. And that's the difference here when we talk about where the Cowboys are at 6-2. A lot of games to be played, a lot of things that need to happen. and where we are. But if you add Odell in here, what does that matter? What happens? How much do you believe it matters? And that's kind of the thing. Look, I'll be honest with y'all. I don't care. 3 years fully guaranteed? Sure. I don't care. I don't care. Like, literally, I don't care. If that gets us over the hump, say less. I don't care. I can't give you the guarantee that will. Here's what I want to happen. Yes, go do that and let's find out. Because we haven't done in 26 years. We haven't went and done that and found out. So I'm okay there. I'm okay with, 3 years. Look, again, he's going to be cheaper than Schultz. Cool. Go for it. Give him the $30 million for 3 years. I don't care. Completely guarantee it.
What's funny about that though is the conversation we're having right now. The front office is having the same conversation to some extent.
Mm-hmm.
So let's use numbers based on the Michael Gallup contract because we know that his team put that out there.
Come on.
His team put that out there. So we're going to go with the exact same number of years. We're going to go with 3 years. Yes. $11.5 million is the AAV of what Gallup's getting. So we're going to say 3 years, $34.5 million. Yes. Gallup's getting 43% of his contract guaranteed. Just to make it easy, instead of saying 14.83, we'll say $15 million. So the question now, everybody in the panel, we'll just go quickly. We'll start with Dez. Would you sign Odell Beckham to a 3 year, $34.5 million with 15 guaranteed? So less than half guaranteed. Would you do that deal?
Hell yeah.
Space. Yes. Would you do that deal?
Yes.
Coles.
Yes. Run it. Yeah. That's exactly what you want.
That's market value in a really good contract for both sides. That's why I think, and I didn't even ask Knicks because I knew Knicks would say yes.
Send that to New York.
That's using the
Send that to New York.
That's using the contract he said he wants. He wants to flee home. You got 2.5 years at home. You want stability, you got it. You want a contract that's, comparable to what you bring as a receiver. You're getting Michael Gallup money. That's a great contract for both sides. It's like,
if they do that, I want Stephen Jones to go to that press conference and just go, "Ladies and gentlemen, we got him," and everyone just jumps up and starts cheering.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me double down on that.
Go ahead.
And I want what, as you said that, I want what O wants. Give him number 8.
I'm fine with that.
I'm okay with that.
We got to stop with this, man. I see people on Twitter when I post these pictures of him wearing number 8 that are like, "That's Troy." I don't give him a damn about 1995 anymore. I don't care. It's not disrespectful to give out numbers because every team does that unless it's retired. We don't retire numbers. So if it's not retired, issue it. You give number 33, Tony Dorsett's number, to Nate Jones. Yeah. You gave it to Damone Clark, who was a good player, but
I hate it, and I do hate it.
Number 28, Woody's jersey. Give it to Tyson Thompson, a third-string running back / kick returner. You could go down the list of great Cowboys players. Number 54, Chuck Howley, the Manster. We gave his number to Bobby Carpenter. We gave out Moose's jersey to Joe Thomas. Not the Joe Thomas, the linebacker Joe Thomas. Like, we give these numbers all the time. So I don't know why it's disrespectful to issue a jersey that you did not retire. That's crazy.
And I love what Michael Irvin said on a podcast about retiring jerseys.
Yeah.
You know what he said? He said, "Listen, when you retire your jersey, like let's say they retired 88 for Michael Irvin, okay? It's going in the rafters. You know what's going to end up happening? No one says anything about him retiring that jersey until he hits the casket. But with it not being retired, and we keep seeing the number in circulation, guess what? We're talking about Drew Pearson. We're talking about him. We're talking about all the great players.
Antonio Bryant.
Yeah, exactly. The GOAT.
The lost 88. The lost 88. Antonio Bryant.
A great player wearing that number doesn't diminish what you did. You being a better player or a comparable player to me does not make my career any less important than what it was. Like, I don't know why people are like,
how
does that matter?
Watch this. Let's just say they gave Zeke the 22. Let's just say he gave him the 22. Who is the quickest player all time to 10,000 total yards?
Ryan
all time. Zeke.
Zeke.
So how do you discredit the 22? So I mean, the one thing I love about the Cowboys is they do it with 94 a little bit more. They do it with the 88. My problem is with the 33s and whatnot is they don't do it in the right round. I'm okay with giving the number out, but let's give the number to right people. You know what I'm saying? That's only my only pause. Again, I don't care. Going to like when you brought it up eventually in the back channels, 8 to Odell. I'm like, yeah, shit, fuck it, I don't care. Give it to him. The 9s never bother me. Whatever. What I like is give it to the right people. I don't care. Like 33 on Damone Clark, it hits me indifferently. It hits me wrong. He's a linebacker. I don't know. I don't know. It hits me wrong. I don't care about giving the number out. Let's give it out the right way. That's all.
Think about this. Larry Allen, widely regarded as one of the greatest offensive linemen ever. We gave his number to Joe Looney. Shout out to Joe Looney. We all like him, but he's not even comparable remotely to Larry Allen.
More so better for Tyler.
But then even Tyler, right? Tyler is a first-round rookie that we haven't seen. We have no idea what he's going to do, and we said, you can enter that number, just like we've done it with 88 with receivers.
Sure.
This is a known commodity. It's not quite the same as giving it to just some rookie you took in the first round. Like it's Odell Beckham. You know what he can do. You've seen his track record. Like this number thing is just crazy to me. Like the way people protect numbers. And then when I ask the question to people online and I say, okay, let's say that the Cowboys draft E.J. Smith. That's Emmitt Smith Jr. playing for Stanford. He's hurt. He's probably not going to declare. But if he did, I don't think anybody would have an issue with him wearing number 22 because it's Emmitt's sign. It's just kind of crazy to me.
Well, are you gonna Odell 12?
I don't care. Yes, I don't. It does not matter to me. No! If it's not retired, I'm giving it out. I don't care. Nick's.
That's 23.
Nick's. Let's be clear about this. Nick's called me out when I was we were talking about the Chase Claypools and Brandon Cooks and stuff, saying you got to go all in. You got to. If the player wants a number, I don't care. Does not matter. 1990s are forever ago. Give that number out to a player who wants it. Doesn't matter.
Nah, you know what they need to do? Just go ahead and take 3 off Anthony Brown.
They can't though. In the middle of the season, they can't unless they cut him. They can't give that number out.
No.
Here's my thing.
Dude, getting on my nerves.
Here's the thing. Right? Is the
yes, Stevie Mac. Thank
33s,
you.
Like
put that on the screen. Hold on. Give Odell 82. Let's go. I don't care. Give it out. Doesn't matter.
The fucking aviator crowd's gonna get pissed off with that.
I'll be honest with you. I'll give him 82 before I give him 12. I'll give him 82 before I give him 12.
Okay, so you'll be cool with getting them 12. I mean, you'll be cool with getting them 8.
I'll give him 82 before I give him 12.
Man, I don't give a shit. He's here, so he can pick whatever fucking number he wants.
If it's available,
he can have an emoji as his number. I don't care.
Let's recap. Let's fully guarantee his contract. We'll fully guarantee his contract, but we won't give you number 12 though. That's the line in the sand.
We had a deal.
Sorry,
Odell. Real quick, who's the 12 since Salvac? Give me the 12.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
No,
only thing that matters right now is 2022. Literally, that's all that matters. Does not matter.
12
doesn't matter.
But do y'all think that if Odell approached Anthony Brown for like number 3, like he got enough clout to sell Odell? No.
Well, the problem is he can't in the middle of the season.
They can't do it.
Even if he wanted to, he'd have to wait till the offseason. So.
Yeah, but no, he ain't getting 12, bro. I don't care. He ain't getting 12. 12 been handed out.
Remember the question.
I got you.
Guarantees you a Super Bowl. You do whatever it takes to get this man, but I won't give you number 12.
Hey, Pam,
Nick said,
12.
I would do anything for love, but I won't do that.
Give him the 12. Give him the 12. Give him the 12.
Dude, I could give less of a shit who wears that goddamn number. If we win fucking a Super Bowl, I don't think anyone's giving a fuck. But man, listen, this is kind of my main thing. You don't retire numbers, therefore numbers are available unless you say we are retiring this number, which if you want to retire 12, completely understandable. I'm fully behind that.
They should.
Which they should. I believe it. This is just me personally. I think number 12 is the only number. Well, you can argue Bob Lilly, but those should really be the only two
numbers. Over here and done.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like those are really the only ones. But hey, we didn't. We didn't.
Sure.
And because they're not retired, we give them out in preseason. It's a football game watching Dorrance Armstrong wearing number 74. We saw that. It happened. Like, it's. I know they changed in the regular season, but like if it's not retired, issue.
Dude, I hope they give out 8, and I just want to see Twitter just delete itself.
Boomer Twitter.
Yeah, look, Loki. Honestly, I won't end up. We'll kind of not end, but just in the Odell talk.
Okay.
Who cares? Signing 8, 22, 12. If it ends in 6, who cares?
Exactly. And think about it, Knicks, too. Listen, are you going to tell me, not saying you, but anybody that's, we shouldn't do it, like a certain individual that works for Vlogging the Boys that's got the initials DR? What? It's one bad fucking contract. Have we not had a bad contract before? And what have we done? Okay.
Time out, space. Look. Honestly, he's not here. So I don't want to do that personally. I look, he's not here to defend his point or whatever, but here's what I will do. We can absolutely set that up, and we can do that on this channel. I got you.
Yeah.
We can do that. Look, if that's something that you want to do, let me know or know, and we'll make it happen. Period. Okay. All right, and we can make that happen. But let's pivot here, and let's finish up and wrap this thing up with. I'll do a space after this. I don't care. But let's do the Packers. For me personally, and I'll pivot here and I'll say this. Look, I think the Cowboys easily win this game. I think this is a 10-plus point game win for the Cowboys. I think it's, look, honestly, low-key, if I told you the Cowboys win 27-17, I'm kind of disappointed to a certain extent, but it is what it is. Aaron Rodgers had a very terrible game against the team that's been very terrible for a long time. Talking about the Lions. They got their second win of the season. He threw 3 interceptions. I know about historically good guys in this league, players in this league. They bounce back and do very well. I don't care. I just don't care. Close the casket door. I just don't fucking care. I don't care. The Cowboys should win this thing. My score, the Cowboys should win this thing. 35-14 is where I'm at. 35-14. Like, if it's only 10 points, I'm like, eh. But this league and where we're at now, it's indifferent. But 35-14 for me when it comes to this game. Oh, you're looking at this game where, look, I get it. And I'm a little bit worried here, a lot of talk about Odell, but we're not focusing, not a lot of talk on Green Bay or whatever the case may be. But I'm 35-14 Cowboys cautiously. Go ahead, O.
No, I think we're gonna beat the brakes off of them. Honestly, I really do. There's so much riding on this game. You're slaying a dragon, right? You get a chance to slay your dragon. You get a chance to potentially end their season. You put that final nail in the casket for them. I mean, they're in dire straits if they lose this game. Close. Not to mention, they're a team that's in trade consideration, or not trade, but in the Odell conversation because he specifically mentioned their team name. Right. If you lose and they win and then they go on a little small run, now that's a team that could get that player from you. There's just so much riding on it for the Cowboys when you're heading into, and not to mention another team we're kind of battling against is the Giants for the Odell conversation. You don't want to drop 2 of the next 3 games. You want to go into that, knock the Giants out of consideration, knock the Packers out of consideration, put pressure on the Eagles. Like, there's just so much riding on this. I know that the media is talking about Odell. I know the players are talking about Odell. But I think on the field, they're locked in on the Packers game. I think this game matters to them, and I think you're going to see the defense just overwhelm them. Aaron Rodgers this year, as great as he's been against the blitz and as great as he's been against pressure, the Packers are 31st in the league in passer rating against the blitz this year. Aaron Rodgers' completion percentage when he's not blitzed or not pressured is 70%. When he's pressured, it drops down to 45.7%. If you get after Aaron Rodgers because he does not trust his receivers, and you can man up and press them at the line because they don't scare anybody, it allows a defense, any defense, to get after Aaron Rodgers because they don't have a good offensive line and they're not committing to the running game. We have so many dogs on the defensive line. We don't have to blitz to get pressure. I feel like the defense is just going to completely overwhelm the Packers and their season's done. I think we're going to just destroy them this week. So I see some of the chats, 35-28, things like that. I'm closer with you, 34-13. Sounds good. That's what I think is going to happen.
All right. Des caught it. What you got?
Can I tell one quick small story in honor of Veterans Day?
Yeah, please.
No.
Please do.
No,
When I
I'm
was
you see my head.
Yeah.
I'm down for better.
When I was in the Army, I was in NTC in the Mojave Desert, and it was January 11th, 2015, and we were about to go into the field for a month, and I was in a laundromat, huddled around a bunch of other soldiers. I was a young sergeant at the time, and we were watching the Packers versus the Dallas Cowboys in Lambeau, and as soon as Dez caught it and was robbed, my company commander was behind me with a giant cheese head and yelled, "Eat that shit, Dallas. How about them Cowboys?" And then I went into the field for 30 days afterwards. So ever since then, I have hated the Green Bay Packers, and they've hurt me. And my wife's a Packers fan too. Hope she can't hear me right now.
Wow.
But
Wow. You married down. No, I'm just joking.
Thank you for
she tells me all the time, she's like, "Hey, just want to let you know he didn't catch it." She'll just drop that nugget every once in a while. And man, it's a scar that won't heal. It's just
it's going to heal Sunday. It's going to heal Sunday, sir.
So I want Dallas to get those cheese curds. I want them to body bag their ass. I'm going to go bold as shit. I'm going to say there's a 40 burger this weekend. And Mike McCarthy.
50 burgers. Let's go 50 burger. I'm with you. I'm changing it.
I want Mike McCarthy to drag his you-know-what on Aaron Rodgers' beatnik face. I am so just body bag this team, slay this dragon, and don't look back. This is the opportunity that we can show that this year's different. Kill the Packers. So I'm going to say 45-17, and they only score that much because it's garbage time. I hope they beat the snot out of the cheeseheads.
That is the most non-toxic conversation you've ever had on this show.
And
also,
thank
you for your service.
My bold prediction, Jordan Love is going to play in this game. That's my bold prediction.
Ooh.
And now, this is hope.
Oh.
Bruce, what you got for us?
All right, so even shorter story. 2016, Packers at Cowboys. It was my birthday, so A-Rod just ruined that for me. That kind of reignited my hate for them, and I kind of see this going to more beatdown territory. Like I've been saying, 35-16 all week. I feel like that they're gonna put up a touchdown and nothing but field goals. That's what I'm looking for. I mean, like I already kind of got a stat line worked out on my head of 5 sacks, 2 picks even. Like I want this team humiliated, slay the dragon, get the monkey off your back, kill the demon, however you want to put it. They already got the Rams. It's time to get Lambeau on that short list. That's all I got.
It's important. Goals. Where you at?
Yeah, man, we got to run the score up on them. Disrespect them at home. That's the only way. That's the way we just got to end and get this monkey off our backs. I pivot everything everybody else said. We need to run the score.
What's that score, though?
Man, 50 burger. 50 burger. We need to put a 50 burger on these guys the way they they just need to think about everything that – it's still some players on that team that been there. They need to have that replaying every single time. Dez need to be at the game.
How many points did the Lions give up to them?
15 or 9. Yeah.
9. Yeah, it was under 10.
You're right.
3 field goals.
I feel like we need one of those like 44-3, 51-9. I know that's highly unrealistic. But that's what I want. That's what I want for this game.
We need to make Aaron Rodgers retire.
Odell feels at home here.
Yes.
I want kids crying in the stands. That's what I want. I want childhoods ruined.
Weeping
Packers fan
cheese.
childhood. Yes, just
we need to do the Lambeau leap and everything in this. Like, that's how they did us at home.
Start the
You know,
bus.
it's so wild seeing Packers fans that are really packing it in, talking about that they want to see Jordan Loves, and they're talking about like, hey, let's get the young guys involved and see what we got for the season and next season. Like,
yeah, Packers fans are done.
And they almost in draft
They're talking
mode.
Milwaukee Bucks already. Seriously, they're already talking basketball because the Bucks look good again. It's basketball season in Green Bay right now.
Space.
Cowboys just need to go and hammer that final nail in that coffin.
Listen, man.
Close the casket.
This Packers team with Aaron Rodgers has eternally pissed me off to the point to where I literally am like, green light on doing whatever the fuck you want to do to this team. And I know that that's not the answer that some people like to hear, but listen, man, Aaron Rodgers is a POS, and I hope to God he gets just bodied by Micah and company. And
Space
I think
just said, Sam Williams, we know we talked about some of the penalties early this year. Don't care. Just
Sam
go
Williams,
get him.
I don't give a shit if you take him out of the game. Fuck that guy. But seriously, I literally hate the Packers with a burning passion, and I don't say that about anybody, and it's because of all the shit we've gone through, and the fact that we could end their season on Sunday, basically. No better way to write it. But again, this isn't gonna this ain't a gimme game because I know exactly how the NFL works. They're fighting for their playoff lives. They know that shit. If we lose, we'll probably be out of the running. Even if they win, I'm not sure they'll get that division. But look, Bakhtiari is going to be hurt. I know Aaron Jones is going to be playing, but that team's on the reels, man. They are grasping for air, and we just need to Michael Myers them, throw them into the meat grinder and end this nightmare of Green Bay traumatizing us. Get him out of the tournament so you don't got to face him. So I'm going to still stick with my score 29-22, but it's not like the score is going to reflect how the game goes, if you see what I mean. I think that what's going to end up happening is that they're going to just be flailing around and they're going to just try and come back late, but it's too late, Right. It ain't easy. But you got to slam.
Aaron Rodgers is going to get some garbage time stats. Remember that conversation with Dak? Aaron's going to get some garbage time stats this week.
I don't even think he gets garbage time stats.
Right. In general, the Cowboys moving forward, they full court pressed about Odell, right? That's what they did. Got to show on the field now. So as these things kind of progress and do different things, it's up to them. You taught a lot, but now show me on the field. So I think on top of Mike McCarthy 4-7-1 got fired with the 3-6 Packers on deck. And in general, what they're doing, what you do is going to pivot into what you do. So if the players and how they've done things and talked about Odell and whatnot, cool. Go show and prove. And how you build your resume for the next 2-3 weeks is going to matter to if you get that guy in there. And we'll see and go from there. Once again, yes, I am nervous. I am very nervous. Very nervous. A all-time player. Don't care about 39-year-olds Rodgers right now. I don't care. All-time player, though. I don't care. I don't care where you want to put him or anything else. But the story of the NFL ever, the entirety, you can't tell the story of the NFL without not talking about Aaron Rodgers. And for us, 26 years, we have a dog. Right? Our dog, a lot of times. Over 26 years, last time we went to a NFC championship game. When you talk about that dog, sheesh. Boy, Aaron Rodgers kind of seems to be at the head of the table. So I don't give a F. 3-6. Close the casket. I don't care. Do that. Make it do what it do. Move forward. It helps you with Odell. It gets Aaron Rodgers out of the playoffs. You ain't got to worry about him, and we'll deal with something else. That's kind of where I'm at. Once again, I'm a little more generous in the score. I think it's a 10-point win. I think it's 27-17. I would absolutely love a 40 burger here. 40-14, 40-17, 40-13. I tell you what, 41-21. We'll love it. I don't care. I don't think, and here's what we're going to find out. The rubber meets the road here. I look at everything where the Packers are and where we are coming off a bye. There's no way. There's no way. I don't care about Aaron Rodgers at 39. I don't care. I look at his team. I look at what's going on, the whole nine. Now that's a different conversation because, that gets caught up in the he doesn't have people. Blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, we watched, Kansas City add players. And I'm sorry, Green Bay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Y'all traded with the Bucs. Yeah, great. Good for you. Got a lot of draft picks. And y'all just didn't do shit. I don't care. Hold this L. We're owed this. I don't care. Let's roll. Period. Point blank. We'll see what happens.
So, guys, we've got 5 minutes left. We're going to wrap it up real quick. Got the score predictions. I'm going to start with Bruce. We'll just go around. We'll end it with Knicks or Hoodie Knicks. We'll have to see what comes up then. What's your bold prediction? Let people know where they can find you, and then we'll kind of go through there. So, Bruce, bold prediction for this game. Not score, but what happens this game?
Bold. I mean, I'm still going to keep banking on Turpentine. That's where I'm at. I feel like he's going to crack one still. One of these times I'm going to hit. I know I've been wrong all these other times, but one day. I mean, as far as to find me, all lowercase at Got Bruce on Twitter. I mean, I don't really, other than that, Facebook, Bruce Mid, it's whatever. Hit me wherever.
Appreciate you joining with us, Bruce. Have a great weekend. Colts Cowboys, what's your bold prediction?
All right, man.
Oh, yeah, my bold prediction is a Trayvon Diggs pick six.
I like it. Let them know where they can find you.
Yeah, y'all can find me on Colts Cowboys on YouTube and Twitter. Also,
definitely check them out.
Yeah, I'm thinking about doing a live stream for this game. I just feel like I need to go ahead and do a live stream reaction. I hate doing them, but this game is a special one, man.
You should.
Tune in on that game.
Mr. Space.
Micah Parsons gets 3 sacks this game. You guys can follow me over at Space Cowboy Media on YouTube, Space Cowboy MED on Twitter. Do your due diligence. Like this live stream. Subscribe to all these individuals here because they do fantastic work. Or follow them on Twitter, please. But yeah, I think Micah is going to take Aaron Rodgers to the graveyard at this point.
So we got a punt return from Turpentine. We got a Trayvon Diggs pick six, and we got 3 Michael Parsons sacks. So it's a pretty good game so far. If any of those things happen, or all 3, even better. Dez caught it, burner account. What's your bold prediction? And you're on Twitter now, so let them know where they can find you there.
I am the Toxic Tom Downey burner account on Twitter. I check it once in a full moon. My bold prediction is that Jordan Love will be playing in this game at some point, and not because of injury. That is my bold prediction.
I like it. So, Nix has this expression that he says about special teams. Nix, what is the special teams saying that you have?
Special teams matter.
All right. So Bruce is going with the punt return touchdown. I'm buying a special teams touchdown. I'm going with a block punt touchdown. We've been close a lot of times this year, and we've blocked a punt this year in a game that we needed early to jump out on the Rams. I don't know why. I'm just going with that. I do know that statistically, DVOA, the Packers special teams, is 31st out of 32. So not very good on special teams. I think we're going to block a punt this week. Actually, I don't know if I think. I want us to block a punt. That's my bold prediction. I'm going to go with Dorrance Armstrong blocking the punt. I don't know if he scores or not, but we have a block punt scoop and score this week.
I like that.
And you can find me on Twitter at @ProfessorO_NFL. And you can find me here Wednesday evenings, Friday evenings. And you can find me on Cowboys Wire. I have an article dropping this week, which should be fun to read because the Cowboys absolutely decimate the Packers in terms of win probability statistics. It's crazy. There's so much green on the Cowboys side, and I absolutely love it. So Knicks, hoodie Knicks. I see your hoodie Knicks. Tell us your bold prediction, sir.
How many rushing touchdowns did Pollard have last week?
3.
How many?
He had a bye last week.
Zero. True. Zero.
Cheat guy.
Where you going with this hoodie
Cheat
Knicks?
guy.
I'm just kidding.
The last game he played, fucker. How about that? 3. He repeats. 3.
3.
That's where I'm at.
Malik Davis.
Cowboys 49. Packers 17. That's where I'm at.
Love it. And obviously at your guy, your underscore guy underscore Nick.
That part. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let me pivot back here a little bit. Man, appreciate everybody coming through, having a good time. I'm gonna grab some food. Space. I don't know. I'll throw it up there. We'll see what happens. Look, if none of y'all show up, then I'm gonna cancel that and move forward. But that being said, I will run a space. We'll see what happens. Cowboys 7-2. I think it's across the board here. Aaron Rodgers. Hold on. What did last year the finals? Go to sleep.
Curry, just go to sleep.
Yeah, go to sleep. It is what it is. I want to save it for my guy Space. He's a Warriors fan. Y'all be safe. Peace. As always, go Cowboys and stay tuned.